Welcome to Talkin Baloney.
Calvin Cocoa Pop.
This is Boutique.
Oh, gosh.
What is going on?
No script allowed.
What are you, some kind of bot? Come on, people.
Oh, yeah. Pickle, you gotta give him a pickle, right?
I want to be a movie star.
Wow, that sounds so interesting.
Fresh and quick.
Cheese, pizza.
Part of the Bologna Nation.
Jim Deezy.
You guys still there?
Wow.
Man, that is powerful stuff coming into the show. It is.
Gets better every week.
Every week. It's like, I'm telling you right now, that the beginning should be a number one hit on iTunes.
Yeah, we could release it as a single.
Yeah, it should be on everyone's Spotify playlist.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I want to be a movie star.
I do. What are you, some kind of bot? Oh, man. So how you doing, big guy?
Hanging in there. How are you doing in your secret location?
From our traveling studio.
And what's the weather like out there today?
Well, it's a balmy 30 degrees inside.
It's 30 degrees inside.
Inside is 30 degrees.
Man,
It's cold.
you
It's
might
chilly.
need another mask.
You know, I tell you, it's all about, staying safe, social distancing. You can't get any more socially distant than this.
That's for sure.
It's sad that we got to do this and talk about this every week. Wear a damn mask. Look how easy it is. Well, done. It's already on. Look at designer trends. You can get a Talkin Baloney mask. All you gotta do is go to our shop and order it. We'll make it. We'll send it right out. Why do we gotta talk about this?
It feels like we do talk about it almost every week, but
Yeah.
this is 9 months of the 8 months? Of
8 or 9 months of
corona?
this of the vid, as Kevin Hart would call it, the vid.
So today we're going to do a little something different.
Uh-huh.
We're going to talk TV show theme songs,
Ooh.
and we're going to stick to the bread and butter of Talking Baloney, which is the 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah.
So even though like the Munsters is a great theme song, that's not one of the ones we're going to talk about today.
No, and let's be honest. We all watched the Munsters. If you say you didn't watch the Munsters, you're lying. And they're just not 80s or 90s.
No. It's not in our Bologna wheelhouse, if you will.
No. And let's be honest, most of us that did watch the Munsters, we only watch them because our parents, we were younger and we weren't allowed to touch the TV.
Speaking of the Waltons,
Leave it to Beaver, Waltons.
so
My
Jim,
three
tell
sons.
me right off the bat, what's your go-to theme song? 80s, 90s.
Oh man, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna go right to Airwolf. I back it up. A-Team right off the bat.
18.
I'll give you my top 3 right now.
Yes.
A-Team, Knight Rider, and Airwolf.
Okay. So those are all kind of similar sounding too.
Yeah. Now, the dun, 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 the A-Team one. Come on,
Yeah.
man. If you didn't have that as a ringtone at one point in time on your cell phone, you're not American.
So I will say this: the guys who did the A-Team theme song also did Magnum PI.
Oh, I forgot about Magnum PI.
So right there, you've got two of the greatest theme songs from
Yes.
one duo, Mike Post and Pete Carpenter. That's a hell of a career if you got those two songs under your belt.
And I'm not being fair because there's another probably 6 right off the top of my head that are stuck in my head all the time.
Well, let's talk about Airwolf a little bit.
Oh yeah. That was it had a more of an orchestra beat to it, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Like a lot of horns or something in it too.
It was kind of like Rambo music also in a way.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Oh, man. By the way, FYI, that's a good cup of Jimbo Joe's coffee right there. Man, hot and fresh. I'm drinking the prototype. Anyway, let's get back to Airwolf. That helicopter was badass.
It was Jan Michael Vincent and Ernest Borgnine.
Now, Ernest Borgnine, who was also in, remember that ship movie back in the 70s or whatever that tipped over?
Poseidon Adventure.
The Poseidon Adventure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was awesome in Airwolf. They had that secret helicopter. It came out of the mountaintop or whatever it was. And, man, it was funny because no matter what the disaster was, it could only be saved by Airwolf.
Well, that's kind of like what the 80s was all about, because you had Airwolf and then you had Knight Rider, which they found a way to make it so that the car could be involved in everything.
Yeah, David Hasselhoff. Yeah. Listen, think about this. Go back and watch, because I watch Knight Rider just about every night. It's on one of the movie stations higher up on the Dish Network stuff, and you can go back. Like the other night, I watched the Goliath episodes.
Yeah.
When Knight Rider did a 2-part show, and you had to wait remember when you had to wait another whole week to see what was going to happen?
Oh yeah, it was killer.
Kit's destroyed at the end of part 1, and you're like, oh my God, they killed Kit. Yeah. So listen, Knight Rider was my show back in the day. My show, loved it.
So I've watched it recently as well, because it is on TV a lot. I was watching it the other day, and it was an episode with a dirt bike racer who got thrown off his bike, and then Michael Knight's investigating what happened. And there's a scene where he's helping the sister, and they're escaping, and they're running to get into Kit. And he's like, open the door, and the door swings open, and you see a guy lying on the on the seat who obviously had just opened the door.
What always cracks me up about those shows is the technology then when he's like, jam it, Kit, and he's shooting a beam up to the helicopter and jamming the rotor.
Yeah.
You're like, what? We don't even have that yet.
Yeah, Kit could do some amazing stuff.
Yeah, there was some crazy sound effects too. When he used to push a button, like the turbo boost button. I used to love that because it was just like that sound effects, that do 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 as he's flying. Like that car did not have any suspension on it where it could be flying through the air like that. But we believed that stuff back in the 80s.
And again, watching recently, every time he does the turbo, Hasselhoff sells it like he is, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get whoever the guest star is sitting in the passenger seat, and they're always like,
yeah, perfectly still. What's crazy about Knight Rider was David Hasselhoff's front seat always moved. Like when he'd get in the car, that seat was like it was unhinged. Like it would just move wherever he wanted it to move.
Well, he was probably way too tall for that car.
Yeah, he was a tall guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we grew up on that show. I mean, I remember we had the Talkin Knight Rider car. Yeah. Great show. You'll never hear me say anything. I mean, some of the storylines were kind of tacky, and I always thought that, Night Industry 2000, and I always thought that, the Division of, Law and Government, they're involved in some of the, why would somebody that high in the government be interested in what happened with someone's accident on the side of a road?
Yeah. It's, watching it again, Knight Rider to me doesn't hold up very well. To me, it's like watching it to see how bad it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when we were kids, that was like the bomb.
100% believable.
Yeah. Now, Magnum PI, we mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Also a show with a fancy car, but kick-ass theme song.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that theme
I love that. That and the fact that he rocked a Hawaiian shirt all the time.
Yeah. And he just lived a life. Lived in that mansion, drove the sports car.
Dude, that
Doesn't get
Ferrari
any
was
better.
hot.
Yeah.
That Ferrari was hot. He spent, man, that every episode he was with a different woman.
Yeah. It's the ultimate male fantasy. Who didn't
Oh,
want
yeah.
to be Magnum PI?
On a Hawaiian island at that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I should mention all the theme songs we're going to talk about today. You can listen to them on our YouTube channel. There's a playlist created, greatest theme songs.
Excellent.
So, open up another window in your browser, or if you're listening on Buzzsprout or one of our many podcast channels,
Yep.
open up YouTube and you can listen to all these songs.
Listen as we go.
Let's stick in the 80s, and how about some of these sitcoms? One of the ones that comes to mind for me is Family Ties.
Oh, yeah. Family Ties. Right off the top of my head, I'm going the other show with the Seavers. Show Me That Smile.
The Growing Pains.
Growing Pains. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That, facts of life. You take the good, you take the bad. Take them both, and there you have facts of life. Because that was a great, crazy show.
So you mentioned Growing Pains.
Yeah.
That starred Alan Thicke.
Yeah.
Alan Thicke sang on the theme song to Facts of Life. And he also
Really?
did Different Strokes.
Oh, now the world don't move.
Yeah.
The Drummonds.
Yes.
Oh, man.
It just
Awesome.
seemed like you could pick any 80s TV show, and they pretty much all had great theme songs. It's a little different today. A lot of shows don't even bother with a theme song.
Nah, a lot of shows today, it's just, music. But, I mean, listen, put it in perspective. You had the Friends when Friends came out. Their theme song made the Billboard charts.
That's right. I'll Be There For You by the Rembrandts.
Rembrandts, yes. If that's not in your top 100 playlist, you're probably lying.
That's probably the only part of the show I still would watch.
Yeah.
How about WKRP?
WKRP in Cincinnati. I remember that show. I don't remember much of the show other than, watching it now. Actually, if you're looking at you on video right now, you're kind of like the one scene in the show. The microphone's up in front of you. And
That's my Les Nessman. I don't know why he's counting to 3. What was great about the WKRP theme is it was one of those songs that told the whole story of the show in the theme song.
Yeah.
You if you tuned into the show for the first time, you saw the opening credits. Well, I know what this show's about.
Mm-hmm.
It's this guy.
It's about radio.
And I was living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP.
Great shows. What about Dallas?
Dallas is pretty good.
Yeah.
Not on my list, but
Now that would have been more probably our older folks, on their playlist. But what about Alf?
Alf is pretty good. I remember what was interesting as a kid was the Alf song was done by a composer named Alf Clausen. That's a fun fact from the big guy.
Fun
big
fact.
Guy, yeah.
Big guy fun fact. A big guy fun fact.
How about the Dukes of Hazzard?
Listen, how can you go wrong with the Bo and Luke Duke? It's Uncle Jesse,
Yeah.
and Daisy. And
the theme was by Waylon Jennings.
Yeah,
And I know nothing about country music, but I know him.
I know he's big.
It was a number 1 song on the country charts, and it reached number 21 on the pop charts.
Hmm.
It's a pretty big deal.
That's big time.
Why don't we take a break? When we come
All
back, we'll
right.
have some more great theme songs.
You know what I'm doing on break this time, folks? Right here, buddy. Gonna eat some Dunkin' Minis.
Wow.
They don't even call
Munchkins?
it. Look at. They don't even write. Yeah, they don't even write donut on the box anymore.
How are you going to know what you're eating?
I don't know. It just says Dunkin' Munchkins. How do I know? It's not the little actors or actresses from Wizard of Oz.
Whoa, boy. Jim Deezy.
Hey, the big guy. Hey,
Hey.
I heard some news today.
Oh, what'd you hear?
Buzzsprout. Oh, yeah.
Oh, tell me more
Buzzsprout.
about Buzzsprout.
They are the go-to for starting a podcast.
So if I wanted to start a podcast, what do I do?
Absolutely. You go to our link that you
The
You'll
link
have
in the show notes?
page. Yeah, absolutely in the show notes.
Wow. And then it's
Yeah.
just that simple? You just go to Buzzsprout and you can start a podcast?
And if you make two, after you subscribe and you make two of your payments, they'll send you a $25 gift card to
Wow.
Amazon.
A $20 gift card to Amazon. That's amazing.
Oh, is it 20 bucks?
Yeah.
Hey, all right. $20 is $20.
The-
And in this tumultuous year that everybody has had, what better way not to wind down and express yourself and have some fun and start a podcast?
And
Use
if you don't know,
Buzzsprout.
if you don't know what you're doing, Buzzsprout can help you. They have tutorials, they have videos, and probably most importantly, they will help you get your podcast on all the major podcast sites.
Apple,
Oh,
Spotify.
you go anywhere and you'll find Talkin Baloney because we're everywhere, and it's all because of Buzzsprout.
Yeah. Buzzsprout, folks. Buzzsprout.
So don't forget, click on the link, sign up, and start a podcast. What are you waiting
Yeah.
for?
But I mean, you should start your own podcast. I mean, why not?
Yeah. Boom.
Man, it's awesome. I get hyped when I hear the music, man.
And this is a hype show to be hyped about because we're talking TV show theme songs.
80s and 90s, man. You can't go wrong.
Only the
You know,
best.
You know what we're not going to talk about? Politics or religion. Not on this show.
They're off limits for us.
Bingo. What's next on the list?
So there's a couple of shows that started in the 70s, but also carried into the 80s.
Mhm.
I think first and foremost, the Jeffersons.
Moving
Moving
on up.
on up. Probably one of the best theme songs of all time.
You know, Mr. Jefferson's Walk.
Yeah.
Insane. And Louise? Loved her. Wheezy.
And of course, the Jeffersons were a spin-off of All in the Family.
Mhm.
That one didn't really go into the 80s, but that had a really good theme song as well.
You know, I never really watched much of All in the Family. I did, but
Yeah. It was a lot of politics.
yeah.
How about
That was the one
Happy
where they
Days?
Sunday, Monday, happy days.
That's it.
The Fonz.
That's right.
I didn't realize the Fonz was in Here Comes the Boom with Kevin James. I just watched that the other night and realized that the Fonz was the music teacher, and he's actually the coach for Kevin James when he goes to become a UFC fighter.
Oh, He was also the football coach in Adam
Waterboy.
Sandler's. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize how many movies and shows he's been in. You know, you don't really give him enough credit. He's like a B actor in a lot of movies.
Yeah. He's definitely become like the supporting actor, but he's really good in a lot of stuff. We talked about Arrested Development last week. He played a slimy lawyer on Arrested Development. He just killed every time he was on.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough credit.
No, he doesn't. So
You know?
Happy Days, that song that you just sang, actually in the first season was the song you heard during the end credits. Because originally that show did Rock Around the Clock as its opening theme.
Really?
And then from seasons 2 through 10, they did the traditional Happy Days song. And spinning off from Happy Days was Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
You know, that was Lenny
Shamil,
and
Shemazel, Hop and
Yeah.
Stafford.
We're gonna do it our way. That was the show with Lenny and Squiggy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Lenny and Squiggy remind me of the two from Home Alone, the thieves.
Yeah, I can see that.
Big time.
How about going into the 90s with the Fresh Prince?
Oh, here's a little story. Hey, they're doing a reunion show or something right now too, aren't they? Streaming?
Yeah, it just came out on HBO Max. It's a full cast reunion, but it's not like a new episode of the show. It's like a sit down, let's talk about the past. I've heard good things. I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, I watched a clip of it on Twitter, and you know, Will Smith, Carlton, some of those guys don't even look like they've aged at all.
Yeah. DJ Jazzy Jeff looks the same.
Yeah, whatever they're drinking in their water, man, it's it's crazy.
Golden Girls?
Oh, yes. You know, you already know how I feel about the Golden Girls.
Well, Thank You for Being a Friend is the name of the song. It was actually a top song in the 70s by Andrew Gold, and they redid it for the Golden Girls. How about the Love Boat?
The Love Boat.
Greatest American Hero.
Love the show.
Believe it or not.
I'm walking on air. Yes. Listen, we used to watch that show back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a long run either. I don't think they did many seasons of that show.
I think it did 3 seasons. The song was a #2 hit. So the song has probably lasted more than the TV show has. But, yeah, that was a pretty good show.
What about the Fall Guy?
The Fall Guy. A song called The Unknown Stuntman
Yeah.
that Lee Majors himself did the singing on.
Another show centered around his truck doing just about everything he had to do.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to switch topics to Miami Vice.
Listen, I remember bumping the Miami Vice theme song on cassette. Because remember, on the cassette singles back in the day, you had the Miami Vice theme song on one side, and you had the extended cut on the other side.
Ooh. That song hit #1 on the charts.
Yeah.
And won 2 Grammy Awards.
It should have. It was the jam.
And that's a show that I don't think gets enough credit either.
No.
Miami Vice was a lot more to it than just the music and the fashion, which is what anyone kind of remembers about the show.
Yeah.
How about the X-Files?
David Duchovny and my wife has a little statue on her desk, a little figurine or looks like a G.I. Joe figure of David Duchovny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently she's got some kind of closet thing for David Duchovny.
Okay. Is it just him, or does she like the X-Files?
Maybe it was just an X-Files thing or a David Duchovny thing, but
we might have to get her on the show in the next segment to answer some questions about this.
Yeah. She's got. It's like that. That was it Potter or Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or whatever, that one guy that she's got a figurine of him too. I don't know what it is with those.
Okay.
G.I. Joes, I understand. Transformers, I understand.
Yeah. Grown adults having like action figures and stuff is just it's just
normal. Normal, completely.
Perfectly acceptable by modern society. Did you ever watch Twin Peaks?
So
I'm talking about the TV show and not any late night movie you might have stumbled across.
Oh, well, in that case. Never watched it at all.
Okay. Well, it had a theme song that you can only describe as haunting.
Really?
Yeah. The song is pretty much as creepy as the rest of the show. That might be a show you could dive into on Netflix.
I might have
something.
to take a. I'll have to take a look. I'll take a look tonight. Listen, I can remember there was a couple good like shows, like One Tree Hill, Beverly Hills 90210, obviously.
Beverly Hills is on our list.
Okay, let me not jump ahead then.
Well, go ahead. We can talk about that right now.
Come on, if everybody didn't, remember Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah. You missed the best part is then he throws the punches.
Yeah. I'm pouring one out for him right now, Mr. Luke, whatever his last name was there.
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry, that's right.
His son can now be seen every Wednesday night on AEW Wrestling.
Yeah, it's Jungle Boy, right?
His son is Jungle Boy, Jack Perry.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, I gotta give him. I give him credit, man. Shout out to Jungle Boy doing his thing, but never forgetting his pops. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. How about? I can't believe we've gone this long without mentioning Cheers.
Listen, I rocked Cheers' ringtone for the longest time on my phone. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to put it back on today. It's either going to be Cheers or Knight Rider. I'm not sure yet.
So you're saying Knight Rider actually left your phone? Because that doesn't seem right.
It's still on my phone. Well,
Okay.
I did get a new phone, so I don't have the Knight Rider song on my phone yet because I haven't figured out how to put ringtones on an iPhone yet. It's pretty complicated, I guess.
Yeah, you got to use your iTunes for that. It's a long process.
I don't want to get into the Samsung Apple thing, but let me just say there are some things that are a whole lot easier on Samsung. And
I will say
Apple,
this though.
Whew,
I added. I haven't used a ringtone in a long time. I've just been using silent vibrate for like 10 years. But I added ringtones to my iTunes probably around 2002, and they are still on my phone today. So that's pretty cool.
Well, if you want to send them my way, I will gladly try them all out.
Oh, you'll love them. They're all popular songs.
Yeah, I'm down. Now, when Beverly Hills 90210 came out, you had two shows competing with it. We had Melrose Place,
Mm-hmm.
and you had The Heights.
Wow. So the Heights was known for its music.
Yep,
Because
and
that was...
their theme song actually was in the top 20 or something that I can't remember the name of the group, but it was like, How Do You Talk to an Angel or something like that was the name of the song. But
Yeah.
had it in my top 50 playlist back then.
So that was a show that didn't make the list I prepared, but that's a show pretty much defined by its music.
Yeah.
It had the hit theme song, and I don't think the show had anything else really going on. I think it lasted one season.
No, it was all about the music on that show. And matter of fact, weren't they like struggling artists or something?
Yeah. The main character was definitely like a guitar playing singer-songwriter wannabe.
Now, I'll tell you right now, if you rebooted that show right now in today's times, it's perfect fit. You got a hit right there, NBC, Fox, CBS, whatever, whoever. I think it was on Fox. Wasn't it on Fox?
Probably. It probably would be on like Peacock now, though. So
Yeah. I can remember back then, Fox was the riskier or risque network. They pushed the envelope a little bit more. You could say shit and things like that on their network. Sorry, no prep on that one.
Man, did not see that coming. Speaking of Fox, I got a few Fox shows here.
All right.
Cops.
Oh.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do when they come for you?
Bad boys, bad boys.
Inner Circle.
That's right, Inner Circle.
Yes. Man, I'll tell you what. Listen, if you weren't watching Cops back in the day, you were running from the cops.
And is there any time in your life where you drove by a scene where a cop had someone pulled over and you weren't like singing
Bad
the
boys,
theme?
bad boys. What you gonna do? Yep. They came for you. That show was great. You remember there was another cop show that came out that like completely flopped back then too. There was a
There's a few of them.
Yeah, there was a few of them that flopped really bad back then.
Yeah.
Because everybody wanted that show.
We had Real Stories of the Highway Patrol.
Oh yes, yeah. I'd rather watch Alaska State Troopers than that show.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
How about that 70s show?
So, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan. I wasn't a big fan of the 70s show. I liked the show.
The theme song was In the Street by Big Star.
Yes, I remember that.
And then Cheap Trick recorded it, and for seasons 2 through 10, it was the Cheap Trick version.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go wrong with that.
I always liked the dad in that show because he was the bad guy in RoboCop.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was always like, oh, he's the guy that tore apart RoboCop. I love this guy.
He was awesome in RoboCop, too.
Yeah. But, it wasn't one of those shows that if I missed an episode, I was like, oh, crap. I was invested in Beverly Hills 90210 back in the day. I'm not going to lie. I was invested in that. I was like, yo, what's going to happen with Dylan this week?
Like, if you ever go to Beverly Hills, you're going to be like, I got to find the Peach Pit.
Yeah, where's the Peach Pit? Like, there's so much drama. Yeah, listen, go back to Cheers, and every single show tried to have that ambiance about some spot, like the Peach Pit. If you go back to Saturday morning TV with Saved by the Bell,
right?
They had their version of the Peach Pit on that show.
Sure.
Happy
Days.
The coffee shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy Days had Arnold. What? Alice had the diner. Oh, man.
So you mentioned Cheers again.
Uh-huh.
The spinoff of Cheers, Frasier, had a really good song, but it only played during the end credits. Do you remember that one?
No, I do not.
I hear you, baby, calling, toss salad and scrambled eggs. You're calling again. You don't remember that?
No.
Good stuff.
You know what? I liked the Frasier show. It was good. It was funny. I started to feel like TV sitcoms at that point were going down that canned laughter route, where you started to lose a lot of that, natural chemistry between the actors and actresses.
It's in the same vein as Cheers and Taxi.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic 70s sitcom kind of in the 90s.
Yeah.
But everything changed with The Office. A show with no laugh track and kind of very natural. And a pretty good theme song.
Oh, I still got it on my phone. You know,
so that one you still have.
I still have that on my phone. It used to be my wife's ringtone. You know, I had to get rid of R. Kelly's Bump and Grind because, you know, it's not politically correct anymore.
Yeah. One other show that was on Fox, it's from 2000, but The O.C., did you ever watch that?
So I tried to watch. This is that show that was like surfing and there was the Orange County show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get into this at all.
It was a good show. It was kind of their more modern take on a Beverly Hills 90210 kind of show. You know, mostly rich kids. You get the one troubled kid who comes and starts living with the rich family, and you know,
bunch of spoiled brats.
Theme song "California" by Phantom Planet, really good song.
Okay, I'm gonna have to sample that on the old YouTube song link later.
That's right.
To them all.
You can listen to all these songs that we've talked about on our YouTube playlist, greatest theme songs.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, any other shows that come to mind before we go to break?
I'm going back to some shows like Hunter. Do you remember Hunter?
I remember Hunter.
Yeah, I was into that show back in the day, and I don't even know why, but he was that police detective or whatever.
Yeah,
drove that brown Dodge Coronet, whatever, and I think I liked that show because my dad had that car when we were growing up.
It was like a TV version of Dirty Harry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
kind of the inspiration for Sledgehammer. Do you remember that show?
I do remember that show. Yes,
that was a funny show.
Now, actually, I think we're missing a big. Oh, actually, I think we're missing a big show here.
What are we missing?
Moonlighting.
We are missing that.
You can't go wrong with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd.
We're talking about theme songs, though. I don't remember.
I know,
Moonlighting.
but didn't he sing the song for that show?
Not that I know of.
All right, I'm way off base. Forget about Moonlighting, folks. It did spawn some albums, though.
Yeah, Bruce Willis did 2 albums. Is that what we?
2 albums.
Wow.
Not the greatest.
No, we'll talk about him again when we do mediocre albums of the 80s.
All right,
we'll be back with
Baloney
Nation.
See after the next commercial break.
Jim Deezy.
Man, snapping into it right now, man. I am snapping into a Slim Jim right now.
Go for it. Are they an unofficial sponsor?
Slim Jim, unofficial sponsor of Talkin Baloney, folks.
Wow,
they don't even know it yet. But they're going to be mailing us a check for like $25,000, and we are going to wear all the Slim Jim gear in the world.
You know, if they paid us $25,000, I would definitely dress like the Macho Man Slim Jim outfit for at least 2 years, nonstop.
I would wear Slim Jim fat as cologne every day.
Okay. I don't know if that's an option.
Hey, for $25,000, I'll do just about anything.
How does that help them, though?
Oh, if I walk around smelling like a Slim Jim all day, Slim Jim cologne, Slim Jim body wash, shampoo. I'm out of something here.
Yeah, I think you're on to attracting dogs, random dogs chasing you down the street. That's what you're on to.
Hey, this guy smells like beef jerky. What the hell is going on?
So it's time for Bologna Nation.
Excellent.
This is where we answer questions from our viewers, 585-484-1770.
Uh-huh.
First question is for Jim.
All right.
And do you think WWE superstars should unionize?
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, this is a trending topic based on some recent stuff that's happened with Twitch and WWE not allowing their superstars to make money outside of their.
Well, I'm torn on this one because you already know these guys are getting paid. Guys and girls are getting paid millions of dollars. Some of them aren't millions of dollars. I get that, but I mean, if you unionize, don't you just open the door for WWE to take more of your money from outside stuff that you do? Wouldn't they just write that into your contract at that point now? All right, well, if you're in a union. But listen, I've been in a union before, and I can tell you, unions don't do crap for you. They don't.
Yeah. So in this case, the union they would join would be the Screen Actors Guild, which is pretty powerful in Hollywood. It might help them in certain areas like working conditions.
Yeah.
If you remember back in the WrestleMania this year where they were trying to film everything at once, and there were all these stories about people filming at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, working 18-hour days. Stuff with that, I think a union could help. I don't know what the union can do for them if they want to make money on Twitch. That's
the part I don't understand. Like, if your contract states, you can't do this or do that, then you just don't do that. I mean, I don't understand. Like, if somebody said to me, like you and I, when we wrote these $1 million contracts for Talkin Baloney. Some people are just happy with the opportunity to do something. And these guys, I get it. Like, they're making $100,000 doing Twitch or whatever. But I mean, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a wrestler or do you want to be a Twitcher? I mean,
that's right. If you're making that much money and you want to do Twitch,
then do Twitch. It's like
it's essentially what Rusev did. He left WWE, and he's got a huge Twitch following, and he wrestles on AEW, but he probably makes more money from Twitch than anything.
And let's be honest. I was a Rusev fan. I was a big Rusev Day fan back in the day.
Yeah. His
jump to AEW has been subpar. If to say the least. He barely gets shown on TV now, and that was he was on TV every weekend, WWE.
Right.
You may not have liked the storyline he was in, but now he's beating up video game arcade stuff, and like, I'm sorry, man. People got to figure out what they want. You either want to be a wrestler or you want to be a streamer. All these people that complain, I get it. Vince doesn't always make some of the best creative decisions, maybe in our eyes, but we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We're all these big, that's stupid, that's this, that's that. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know. We're just guessing. We're just another Meltzer.
Well, and other thing to keep in mind, supposedly Zelina Vega, she was really making money on OnlyFans.com for some risque photos, if you will.
Well, there's a site to be proud of.
Right. And that, WWE is a family company, a publicly owned company. I mean, she probably did cross the line there. I think there's a lot of anti-WWE sentiment, which is leading people to proclaim that they should all unionize and do all this, but I don't know if her case is exactly the case you want to stand up for.
Here's the thing with unions, and people have to understand, with every union, it doesn't matter what union you're in. Just look at the auto union. With everything that you gain, you give up something. So usually they say for every one thing you gain, you just gave up 2 things. So what are you willing to give up? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
something is going to get cut. You may get something's going to get cut, whether it's benefits, whether it's your salary, because when you unionize, pay grades, pay scale, pay scales become a thing, and
right. And right now, WWE can get you places. They can get you in movies and TV shows. I don't know if this union thing happens, if you're going to see that. You might have to make your choice. Sasha Banks did one episode of The Mandalorian. She might have to choose next time, do I want to leave WWE to take a one episode arc on a TV show?
Yeah.
Because right now she can do both.
I think we're just living in this a generation now of I want it right now. I'm not willing to work for it. Someone needs to hand it to me because that's what I want. And you watch these guys on TV, the wrestlers that have been, I saw a thing about Darby Allin from AEW the other day where he before he won the belt from Jericho, where he stayed in his car the night before, or the night of the pay-per-view, or the night before his pay-per-view, just to remind himself where he came from. And I think a lot of these WWE folks that are like, let's unionize, let's this, I think they forgot where they came from and what went into getting them where they're at. Would anybody be watching Zelina Vega on Twitch if she hadn't already gained a following from WWE?
Correct. And, WWE, yes, they can fire you or release you, but they also gave you a job for 5 or 6 years at a good salary when the life of an independent wrestler is pretty hard.
I'm dumbfounded sometimes when someone's making a lot of money and they're crying that they want more. I have no sympathy for them. None. I just thought of something. Was the Incredible Hulk theme song, was that 80s? It never made the charts or anything, but
no, that's a good call. Incredible Hulk was really big in late 70s, 77, 78, 79. It probably went into the 80s, but same thing with Wonder Woman. Song.
Yes.
I considered Wonder Woman, but she was more 70s.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. What do you think of that?
28 degrees in here. Man. Yeah, I like that list. That's a good list.
And what do you think for next week? What do you want to do?
I think next week, what if we got a little, in the spirit of Thanksgiving?
Okay.
What if we did a little show where we bring out a little, maybe some special beverage, and we try them for the show?
So I'm going to read your mind here and say that you want to have you and Melly Mel's sample some different varieties of alcohol in kind of a taste test.
A taste test.
And see what's what.
And while we're doing the taste test, we'll talk about favorite Thanksgiving movies or shows.
Okay. That's going to be a tough list to come up with, but I got a couple in my head right now.
Now, we could probably tie them into favorite holiday movies and shows.
I think, the good thing about TV shows, especially in the 80s and 90s, is they all tended to do holiday episodes.
Yep.
I think we could probably come together with something there.
And if anybody from Bologna Nation wants to throw a question at us or bring a show to the table before next week so we can talk about it, bam, hit us up on the Bologna Nation line.
That's what we're here for.
That's all we do. Got nothing else to do. We're in quarantine.
So until next week, remember to keep it rocking.
Stay classy.